Hello and welcome back with me, and joining me once again on Star Trek Fleet Command. So as we're coming to the end of the month with regards to obviously the month of August and with regards to the Battle Pass itself, we're going to look into different ways and different things that they could introduce into the game over the course of the end of this year or even the start of next year to make the game a little bit more enjoyable, game a bit more engaging. And so, yeah, I'm going to talk about a few ideas that I personally thought of. Please let me know your thoughts down in the comments down below. As always, if you do like this content or want to see more like Star Trek or even the other games I have been sort of diving into as well, and then please do hit that subscribe button. I seem to be losing a lot of subscribers over the last couple of days for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. I know I haven't posted Star Trek for a couple of days, but content is coming as and when I think of new things. So yeah, support the channel and we can continue to grow. Because at the end of the day, if you don't support it, then it sort of puts me off from doing any sort of content, and the channel will probably end up closing down, which is something that I don't want. So yeah, moving on to that's away from the doom and gloom of the channel. So moving into a more sort of positive approach. So some of the things that I want to see, we're going to categorize them, just 1 to however many we've got. So the first one is going to be skins for stations and skins for ships. And when I say this, I don't mean the current ones that we have in game. So for example, if you go to a ship in game, obviously they have potential skins available to them within the reach. If you go to refit, and then you've got obviously the middle, this top skin here. So this is a ship skin, and we have plenty of them in game. However, this is not what I'm talking about. These types of skins allow you to get special abilities or improved abilities for certain parts of your ship. I'm not talking about that type of stuff. I'm talking about just personal skins for the ship, so you can customize the way it looks, the color of it, the way that the engines glow, just little things like that across the board of the ship, and the same with the station. I want you to be able to customize the way the station looks, the way it operates, in terms of the layout of it and stuff like that, because everyone has the same view, everyone has this same very boring sort of idea of a station. It has loads of prongs coming off it, this, that and the other, especially when it comes to, like, for example, DS9. We should have a skin that makes the station look like DS9 if you want to, or alternatively, there should be other options out there as well. So you can really customize the way that you want your station to look. And again, it just brings the game a little bit more personal to the user because it makes it more engaging. So moving on from that, please let me know your thoughts on that one. So number 2, I'm not going to say for everyone, but like I say, if you do agree with anything, because I'm going to number them 1 to however many we go, just say in the comments which numbers you agree with and tell me why you agree with them or disagree with them, depending on obviously your viewpoint. So number 2 is going to be the black market type of system. I've spoke about this previously in the past, and I still think it is relevant today. And I still think it is something that could be introduced into the game quite nicely, which is basically you can trade on a black market that comes about every 2 weeks. You can trade absolutely anything on the black market. So whether that be ship components or ship blueprints, which is going to be the predominant thing people want to trade. So ship blueprints and stuff like that. And you can then get blueprints for other ships. You can then get resources. It's a bit like the event store. However, you can actually use any type of resource that you want. The only difference would be is if you trade, for example, if you go for a epic type of ship, then a bounty gets put on your head for 24 hours, and any player in the game will see that icon. There'll be, say, a little poppy or purple icon, say, for example, I don't know, it could be purple, it could be any color, it doesn't really matter. And if anyone hits any of your ships within that time period, they get a bounty reward. You as the player don't lose anything other than the fact that your ship will get attacked, but you don't physically lose the blueprint or anything like that. But the bounty will last for, say, 24 hours on an epic type of ship. And then a little reward will be then given to, obviously, whoever then hits and receives that bounty, whether that be material reward, resource rewards, other types of blueprints, say, or something like that. I think that type of system would work perfectly in a game like this, and I don't know how hard it would be to implement, but with what they've implemented so far, I can't see it being too difficult. But I could be mistaken. But let me know your thoughts on that one. Okay, number 3. I would love them to introduce new classes of ships, and when I say new classes, I'm talking about classes that are auxiliary type of vessels that can definitely support you. They already exist in the game, and that is called the USS Cerritos. So they've introduced this ship into the game, and I've spoke about these classes before, and they implemented this ship, which basically took what I said and made and spun it into a way that this ship sort of works. So this ship can be sent out to support your other ships within the game to increase things like attack, defense, and so on and so on. And that's what this ship does by sort of emitting an aura by obviously supporting the other ships. I would go one step further. And these types of ships that I'm talking about are things like med ships, carrier type ships, so aircraft carrier type vessels. And to be honest, carrier type ships, I've spoken about in the past, they could be their own ship class in itself, which deploy little fighters like swarms, essentially, and they would go and attack a ship. And like I say, that could be its own class in itself. But a med ship would be perfect for this type of support vessel, because you could use that in your different types of, obviously, engagement, whichever types of engagement you want. You could use it for offense. You could use it for defense. You can use it in, obviously, the grand game of not you. So if you go down to, obviously, territories down the bottom, you could use it to help your alliances within territories itself, and you could do pretty much anything you want within the territory sort of battle space. And yeah, so this would definitely help a lot of you players out there, and definitely bring a different dynamic into the game by introducing med ships. Carrier ships, like I say, they could be their own class, or they could be a support vessel by adding some sort of attack bonuses, or I don't know, some sort of shield bonuses or something, because the fighters are trying to help more or something like that. Something could be worked, but they're the two types of vessels that I would love to see in this game. Some carrier type, I wish they would come as their own standalone vessels, and that comes for every single level in the game. They would be across the entire wide range of the game. And then the other type of support vessel would be a med ship, which, again, a bit like the Cerritos, would activate on a sort of support. I would introduce the med ship as an aura, so it sits and it has a field of arc, so that anything that is in that sort of aura field gets then supported by the med ship itself. That's what I would personally do. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. And then going on to number 4, the battle pass. This one I'm not going to talk about too much. I just think it needs to offer more. It needs to be a bit more dynamic. It needs to be updated with regards to the current game. So it needs more materials in it. It needs resources. You can offer, say, it's pretty decent with resources, but it certainly needs more materials, 3-star uncommon predominantly. It does need to be more dynamic and sort of keep up with the game, because at the moment it just seems like a copy and paste from every other arc since we've ever started arcs. It just seems to be a copy and paste across the board, and they do need to update it. They do need to start introducing more things into it by, I don't know, giving you more officer shards of previous officers that we struggle to get in the game, or even ships we struggle to get in the game. It needs to sort of be more dynamic and more fluid. At the moment, it's just copy and paste, and it's very, very, very stagnant and boring. Okay, another one. What's this one? 5. So number 5, we are going to go into the missed missions. So I'm sort of saying there should be a missed mission layout icon. So it could be on the right, bit like what the mining icon is. So if you zoom in and you click the mining layout, if you go to a system that I've already got unlocked, so if you go to the mining layout, it will tell you what exactly resources is within that system. And this is just a layout that you can toggle on and off. And I'm proposing this for the same for the missed missions, so that you can toggle something on and off and it will come up a bit like these and tell you exactly where all the missions are within the game. So you don't have to go to every single system within the game and see whether that system has a planet that requires a mission. It will just tell you where they all are, and you can then just fly and do the missions that you've missed previously in the past. And I think that would definitely help a lot of people out there. Moving on from that, so the last one we're going to talk about, what we're going to do here is we're going to actually flip over to the advertising page that Scopely has for this game, which I think they could implement straight away. So if we're going to flip over to this page, so this is the advertising for this game. So you got to see at the top of the screen, you got join the next generation of stuff. I get basically join the next generation, and you can see that it's got specific icons and layouts for the ship upgrade. Why don't we have this in game? I don't get why we don't have this particular look in game. They've got it for every single thing. So everything has got this specific style. And I think it looks so much better than the style that we have in game. Also, what I would introduce as well would be when you see the video, if you go to their Google store or whatever, you can see the video yourself. When they click this upgrade here, and then it goes through like a weird, nice, cool animation. And I would say they need to introduce that into the game. They should have a shift from tier 1 to tier 9. So when you click the upgrade, and it should look like this, in my opinion, when you click the upgrade button, you can see physical changes between level tier 1 and tier 9 of the ship. So it could be very minute changes, but you see a physical difference for every tier that you go up within the ship. So that when you start out, it is bare bones, absolutely nothing. And then as you end up as a tier 9 ship, you can see it as a fully developed, whatever it is, whether it be, nacelle armor, whether it be, obviously the actual armor itself of the ship, and stuff like that, the weapons, for example, or something like that. You can physically see slight differences from tier 1 all the way to tier, whatever the tiers go to. I'm saying tier 9. I know there's higher tier than that as well. So whatever tier it goes to, you can see physical differences for every ship within the game for whatever your type of thing you're upgrading. It could just be very minor cosmetic changes, but I think that would add so much to the game in terms of visuals, because other people will be different levels and different tiers to you. So your ship will look slightly different to theirs. Again, adding a little bit more, realism, adding a bit more, sort of personalization to the ships. And customization, because you might not want to go all the way, for whatever reason. I don't know why you would not want to, but you might like certain looks over others. And I think that's something that they could definitely, because it's just a cosmetic look thing, they could definitely introduce to the game and make the actual thing look like this as well, which I think looks 10 times better than what we currently have in game. This type of upgrade feature or button, forget the fact that it's got the officer thing, that obviously wouldn't be there, but this on the left hand side is what we're looking at here. Something like this would be absolutely great, in my opinion. Again, let me know your thoughts down below of all the new things that I would implement in the game. As I've said, I've numbered them 1 to 6. This is quite a long video in comparison to the others, but I really do want your thoughts and opinions on this, because I want this game to improve for the latter part of this year, so that I don't leave it. I know you guys don't want to leave it. More things are going to come. I have spoke to my Alliance members, and we might be doing more PvP style stuff together. So when we do, and we potentially sort something out for that, I will start recording them as well, and hopefully get to post them. So sort of introduce a little bit more PvP style stuff into the game. So other than that, don't forget, hit that subscribe if you enjoy this type of content. or enjoy me in general. And I'll see you next time. Fly safe. Bye-bye for now.